You are listening to And Press Play, written and recorded by James West.
Hello, and welcome back to And Press Play. Today I'm going to be reviewing the song You Do or You Don't by Lindsey Buckingham, taken from his 1992 album Out of the Cradle. Out of the Cradle is in my top 5 albums. It's amazing. It's got lots of sonic twists, it's got lots of great singing and some wonderful guitar work. But it was an album with an incredibly long gestation period. It took approximately 5 years to make. It was recorded amongst the tumultuous exit that Lindsey Buckingham made from Fleetwood Mac on the eve of their worldwide tour for Tango in the Night. And it deals with a lot of these emotions that he had. I think he had a death as well in his family at the same time. And this album is really a way of working through those emotions of both his personal circumstances and his departure from Fleetwood Mac. Now, You Do or You Don't really kind of encapsulates this album's themes in a nutshell for me, and it's one of my favourite songs on the album. The song starts off with some guitar playing. I mean, it's Lindsey Buckingham's song, of course it's going to have guitar playing. It's soft, it's quick, and there's some drums in the background which kind of helps set the mood really well. This song is a deliberately somber mood, and it works wonderfully. But it's not somber and slow, it's somber and quick. There still is this sense of urgency, as if he's still trying to wrap his head around and come to terms with these decisions. Buckingham's singing on a lot of this record is rather pained and rather sad. There's a rhythm to the music in this verse that prevents the song, as I've said before, from being overly dour and allows the song to gather some momentum. Lyrically, this entire song, as I've said, is to do about his feelings with leaving Fleetwood Mac. We start with "Living in exile ain't the way to go, it's just another way of dying." I like this couplet. It shows a sense of growth in the singer, as if he is realising his current state of affairs isn't very healthy and that he needs to do something about it. The chorus is heavy on the drums and the synths, and it helps to create this sense of urgency for him to make a decision on whether to leave his situation or stay in it. It's further emphasised by his lyrics, with each line presenting two different options, one a brave option and one more cowardly. You either run or you hide, now you slip, now you slide. You say you will, but you won't. You either do or you don't. Buckingham's voice starts off quite pained when he sings the chorus, but gradually becomes more resigned as each line goes by, as he works out what the best decision will be. The second verse seems to be about Buckingham talking to himself and telling himself what he should do. Living in exile, just got to let it go. Again, implying he needs to move on from this situation. The next line is a little bit more interesting though. Just like a little child, have to crawl away. This gives the image that leaving the situation would be a form of rebirth, and thus a fresh slate for him to start again on. Musically, this verse is much the same as the first one, but ends with some sombre finger picking from Buckingham, which really stands out against the drums. It creates quite a nice contrast and a bit of sharpness. After another chorus, we get perhaps the most interesting bit of the song, but not perhaps for the reason that you're thinking. We get a lovely refrain, which is, somebody has to see this through, all the world is laughing at you, somebody's got to sacrifice if this whole thing's going to turn out right. It gives the impression that Buckingham must leave his situation, i.e. Fleetwood Mac, for both sides to move on. Interestingly, in 1997 on Fleetwood Mac's The Dance, their live album upon reuniting, Buckingham wrote and played a song called Bleed to Love Her, which borrows the same refrain. To me, this has always meant that whatever issues he had in Fleetwood Mac in 1987, they have all clearly been forgotten or forgiven by the time of The Dance. To conclude, You Do or You Don't is one of Lindsey Buckingham's best solo songs and gives a deep and honest portrayal about the difficulties of leaving an unhealthy relationship, set to some music that keeps you engaged all through the song. I'm giving this song a 4.2 out of 5.
Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time.